What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Nina, and breakups are super difficult. I've been blessed in my life to have a few grown-up breakups, but I've definitely had my heart broken a time or two. My situations and exits have been most notable for the peace, love, and joy, and the God bless you. But no matter who breaks up with who, this don't feel no better. Many of y'all that's been with me for a while know that over 2.5 years ago, I had a breakup that I was quite quiet about because number one, we don't air out our dirty laundry. Now being in a very healthy and happy relationship, I realize it's important to cleanse the heart, do the work in order for you to move forward with your life properly. And I'm gonna say being a psychologist helped at least a little bit, but I got y'all on these tips and things that you can really do that can help you get along your way and move forward from the hurt and pain. Any items I discuss are gonna be found down below in the information section. Now let's go.
And some of you all said you haven't received your notifications, so make sure that you're also clicking that bell and choosing all the notifications so you know when I upload on Thursdays and some Sundays.
So first off, y'all, it should be a given, but take care of yourself and exercise. This is a time to think about what you need. It's really easy for us to let go of ourselves and think that the world is over just because a breakup has happened. I don't know about y'all, but while it's not completely about the other person, I definitely like to take my time after a breakup to level up, take care of myself, get healthy, fit, and pay more close attention even to my skin. I like to stay looking like yes instead of looking like no. Mostly, I like to take care of the inside. I like to continue to go to therapy, do some reflection, and also figure out the role I played in the breakup. Take accountability. Most times we only think of the other person, but being self-centered right now is best. What food do you need? Do you need to talk to a friend or a family member? Do you need to schedule a therapy appointment? Do you need to crack open the Bible, get more connected with your higher being, pray, get more spiritually connected? Exercising might seem like the last thing on your list right now, but it actually ups your endorphins and gives you motivation to move forward. And rejection overall can mess with you and have you over and under eating as well. And I could be a snacker, especially when it comes time for a breakup, because a lot of the time that you had allotted for that person is now free. So I like to keep healthy stuff around for me to snack on if that's the case. So I got the perfect breakup food for you, okay? So aside from all the other videos I have on great food items for you to try out, I've listed some of them down below. I also got some great food items for you to try out that's not as deadly to your breakup diet. At a time like this, do you remember sugary, carb-loaded foods calling your name and throwing you off your game when it comes to your diet? Perhaps it didn't make you feel the best about yourself. That's why in these times, I keep things around like schoolyard snacks. They're the new brand that's recreating sweet tooth treats and junk food favorites from childhood that don't have all the sugar and the carbs. They've been so popular that they've sold out 4 times already this year, but now they're back in stock. I love the fiery hot. It takes me back to the days of having red fingers from the hot chips. Best thing is that their cereal and cheese puffs are both keto. Their cereals are sugar-free and all of their snacks are high protein. So we can win, even in a breakup. Now at this time, you definitely deserve all the great snacks without all the guilt. So get 10% off a one-time subscription order and free shipping when you use my code and link down in the description box. They're so confident that you're gonna love the taste that they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all orders. Now who does that? The next thing is to make sure that you understand that closure might be something you have to find on your own. Sometimes the other person is not going to even be able to articulate or tell you why. If they couldn't express their feelings during the relationship, if that was an issue, then how do you expect for them to come back and do that for you now? Right now, you can't depend on them and you can't depend on anyone else to help you get over this hump. I had to learn how to create a healthy narrative. So if I didn't really know what was going on, I had to create something in my head and also be realistic about what that was. And don't fool yourself. If you know they were cheating or they was with somebody else, be real about that. It's not about me. It was about what they decided to do outside of our relationship. And that's it, and that's all. Now, if I have to sit in that hurt and that pain for a while, I'll allow myself to feel it, but I'm not going to depend on them to articulate that. I've had blessings in my life with people who have been able to come back and apologize, but usually that happens after a while. It's not right after the breakup happens. And if you can't work through that on your own, now is the time to seek out therapy or counseling. Also a confidant, a mentor, somebody who can help you to reflect and get through that stage. Something else I had to think about was that sometimes a breakup reflects other things in your life. It shows you things in reflection that maybe you've missed, not thought about, or had time to think about. I know for me, sometimes I've gotten caught up in relationships, and then when they're over, all this flood of emotions and things come in that bring up parts of my other life. Allow that to happen. And when I say my other life, you know, whether you have abandonment issues, whether you have anger issues, whether you don't know how to cope in these situations. And now is the time to face that head on. And a breakup can be the catalyst to your next step. And you have to decide which direction you're going. Are you going to stop your life because this person won't apologize to you? Or are you going to move forward and be your best you? Let me tell y'all, like I said before, I like for people to see me better than I was before. Never worse. You keep on your game. You move forward. You do what you need to do. You change your life. You grow. And that's it. No ifs, ands, and buts. Not for them, but for you. But hold on, a little bit, at least 5%, feels real good when they see you doing real good. So keep with it. It gets better over time. The next thing is that it's okay to allow yourself to feel your feelings, but don't get stuck in the feelings land. At this time, it's important to be gentle with yourself. The world is already going to be hard on you, and I don't know how your breakup was, but like I said, I've had pretty grown-up breakups, but they were for pretty grown-up reasons, and sometimes they hurt. At this time, you need to cry, punch pillows, do you. And maybe you don't punch pillows, but I did. Like, that's my thing. Like, I used to have this thing about swimming in the floor. Like, I would allow myself to swim in the floor. One of my good best friends can remember a time where she came over and she felt like I was literally taking a swim on the floor because I was so sad, so sick. I didn't know what to do. I was literally backstroking on the floor. No lie. Feelings are actually what gets us through. It's a loss, and with loss comes 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Y'all, I would literally put on a timer, give myself about 30 to 60 minutes a day to wallow and scream in pain. Outside of that, I could think about certain things, but I would not allow myself to get overly consumed, nor do a whole lot of shouting and crying. I allow myself to escape that and get out of that and do that work during that time of that timer. And yes, times came where I wanted to well up and cry because I heard a song or I saw something, but most of my time was spent on moving forward. During that small amount of time during my day, I allowed the crying, the wallowing, and the pain. And in that time is when I found a way to forgive myself. And I also had to remember, trouble don't last always. I told y'all I come from the Church of God in Christ, Pentecostal all the way, boo-boo. Trouble don't last always. It won't always be like this. And the more you allow yourself to feel, and the more you start to gain control of your emotions, the less you're gonna have to worry about this over time, and it'll teach you for your future. The next thing is to cut the cords. And y'all know exactly what I'm saying. All of y'all out here that feel like you can just be good buddies with your boyfriend and your ex-boyfriend and your ex-woman, your ex-wives, your ex-husbands. I don't understand y'all. I'm not sitting here downing you. I'm saying I don't understand it. I'm gonna tell you why. When you really wanna cut ties with something, you have to move forward. Unless you have children with this person, which realistically at these ages, a lot of people do, even that should be related to those children. Not about your feelings, not about your love for one another. It's now time to cut the cord. It wasn't nothing to cut that off. Every time you talk to that person, engage with that person, especially about your feelings, the who, what, when, the where, the how, you're opening up an energy tie. You're creating what is called an energy tie. And your goal here is to start breaking those energy ties between you two, not keep on creating them. So look, once I'm gone, I'm gone, and my exes will tell you that much. The reason being is that a lot of times in my past, when I've tried to make friends or be cool with, usually there's a level of jealousy, resentment, not on my end because I allow healing to occur. However, that other person often feels like, oh, you're moving on without me. Oh, you're doing good without me. Oh, you going on a date. Who want to hear that? And oftentimes those old relationships and trying to do the chit chats and the check-ins and all of that stuff turn into situationships anyway. Not healthy. So just make sure you're taking good care of yourself and realize it's okay to let this part of your relationship go. I'm not saying you don't see them in the streets and say hi. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you don't have to go out of your way to call them every Friday night to check on them, see how their mama doing, their cousin doing. It's time to let that go. The next thing is to do yourself a favor and remember what wasn't quite right about the relationship. Yes, there were good points about the relationship. I'm sure there were the wonderful flowery points, but there's a reason why you are where you are right now. Whether it's because of you, because of them, or a mixture of the two, with the relationship itself, the timing, whatever it was, there's a reason why you are where you are. Sit in that. Take that in. It's okay that it ended. You can't only dwell in the nostalgia of it. Remembering good times can be good, but only focusing on those can be a killer. Just like you journal about all the good in your life, you need to also journal about the things that were kind of negative when it came to that person. And I'm talking about the bad times. That way you don't over-glorify them or the situation as a whole. Because a lot of times when we leave these situations, we see them as perfection. Oh, but we were so great together. Oh, but we were so wonderful. And you forgot about that all-out drag-down fight y'all had in front of Walmart 5 times over, where the police had to be called. Don't just remember the great times at Six Flags. I mean, now is the time to remember the times that were not so great, that may have adjusted your character, your thinking, your thought process, your level of resentment and bitterness. You owe it to yourself. The next thing is to try not to internalize too much or play the victim. I learned to stop thinking, what's wrong with me? Something's wrong with me. Everybody doesn't like me. It's easy to think that. It could have been the time, the place, the relationships, characteristics of you both that didn't allow this thing to work. But you gotta stop playing that victim role, that something's really bad with you or everybody's out to get you. That's not always the case. And sometimes you need to reflect on your own behaviors and how you got here. How did you get to that person? And if you are stuck thinking that that person was a horrible person, why were you with them? Why were you with them? And y'all, I'm gonna share something with you. I've had relationships where I knew early on that the people were questionable. Real questionable, right? No matter what their profession was, what they were doing, none of that. I'm talking about questionable. However, I allowed things to blind me. Whatever they were, okay, I'll catch my drift. Whatever they were, I allowed them to blind me, but I couldn't play victim in that. At the end of those situations, I had to take responsibility and accountability and say to myself, I said, you know you played a role in that situation. You allowed the behaviors to continue on. Now figure out why you allowed that. Because if that person wasn't that great and you felt that way, then why were you with them? Remember, you are a mirror of what's there. And when people say that, it doesn't mean that you would have done the same negative things to someone else. What it means though, is you need to reflect on what's going on inside of you that's allowing that in your space. Why? Why? What are you feeling about yourself? Are you feeling low about yourself? Are you feeling bad about yourself? Do you not have the self-esteem that you need? What is it? You need to check that instead of always trying to check everybody else. You are not the victim in every situation. You got to figure out what role you play. I love you. I love you. The next thing is to surround yourself with folks and be around people who have some sense. I'm usually very quiet with breakups, and mainly because somebody and something and everyone will always have something to say. I've always been like that. My mother didn't even meet, but I want to say 3 real boyfriends in my life. And I didn't bring home everybody I dated. Not even my friends met everybody I was dating. I've always kept that pretty private, and that's even with my YouTube life. I mean, y'all have seen, what, 1 person? And the reason being is because you open that up, you open a book to criticism, to praise, to idolization, and I've never wanted that. Not only that, I'm a real girl. I'm a real chick. Do you hear me? I am from St. Louis, STL Mo 314, and Memphis, Tennessee. Down in Houston now. However, what I will say is, because I'm so real and raw, so are my feelings, okay? So you can't always share all of that with everybody. Everybody can't take that from you. And sometimes you open yourself up to more demons because you gave the information away. And then you don't know who's out there judging you based on that information. Not that I care about judgment no more anyway. I've been judged every which way, really could care less. However, it does compound your situation. And that could even be with people trying to direct you back to the situation that wasn't good for you because they're in bad situations themselves. So they want you to be in those situations. Misery loves company, honey. Be careful who you're discussing your personal business with, who you're telling your relationship stuff to. Okay, I have mentors, I have best friends, I have a good circle. That's why I don't come on here telling my business. I tell y'all what I want to tell you, and I'm controlled about that information, and it's for a reason. You should be as well. Protect your heart, guard yourself. It's hard enough going through a breakup, but then to go through it with a whole bunch of combinations of information and people that got something to say that don't even need to be involved in your situation, compounds it 10 times as worse. It makes it worse. Sharing with the people that support you can open doors. It can help you so much. And they can also offer stories and parts of them that they've never shared with you before. Not only that, it can open doors for you, because getting that out, saying it to the right people, allowing them to have the right things to say. And I'm not saying all the things that praise you and make you feel better. I have friends that tell me about myself all the time, and I'm grateful for them. Keeps me grounded, keeps me humble, humility with dignity, okay? But with that said, they're the right people to tell. They know how to handle my feelings. They know how to handle my thoughts. They know how to handle what I say. And not everybody should be privileged to that. So be careful with your breakup heart, where it is and who you share that with, even future potential suitors. The next thing is to not be so hard on yourself based on the length of time it takes you to heal. Be okay and honor that time that you need to heal. You fell for somebody. You might have loved them. You might have felt like you loved them, even if it was just a situationship. You need to heal. And some of y'all be out here like, well, we was only together for a year, so I should get over this in about 2 months. Yeah, right. That's how you find yourself back with them or back with somebody just like them. Give yourself time to heal. Stop jumping in and out of these situations that don't serve you. Y'all hear me saying serve you because you need to be served right now, okay? Take care of you. Take care of your heart. And make sure that you're clear on what problems you have and don't. Y'all, whenever I get into a new relationship, I'm very clear on the issues that I have. I'm very aware that I have issues. We all have issues. But when you don't know and you go spreading the funk everywhere, that's when it's a problem. So make sure that you become aware of yourself, how you felt about the situation, and heal from that. That's the only way for you to move forward with grace, ease, and eloquence. The next thing is to find and get rid of unhealthy behaviors that don't serve you and fill your time. It's not going to help you to replay the old times over and over and over again. Yes, reflect. But you shouldn't be up until 5 a.m. every morning trying to figure out every little piece of your relationship and obsessed with trying to text your ex. Find out those new healthy patterns. If there were things that y'all used to do over and over again that filled your time, find new things to fill those time slots. And that's going to have to be with something new. I can remember in the past, I even had to start going to another church. As much as it hurt me, I knew that I could not be in that environment anymore. I really didn't want to be asked questions about that relationship, especially from people that didn't really know me. I really didn't want to continue to bump into that person. That just wasn't what I wanted to do. And so I had to change the way that I was feeling that time with another church family, another church life, also different connections to my spirituality and other things that became my own tradition. So get you some business, get a real hobby, get a business, get back into an interest you have right now or that you once had. I always start back drawing or getting back into my music. Y'all know I rap, sing, play the piano, violin, viola, cello. I love all of those things, all things arts. So I had to pull back into that. Right now should be all about being intentional in your life. Something unexpected has happened. Now, if you decide to date cautiously and step in slowly. This is not the time to give somebody all of your heart. And if you ain't ready, you should not be dating. And the way that I knew that I was not ready when I would get out of relationships is I really just sought to want to be alone. I wanted to be with myself. I wanted to be in my thoughts. I didn't want to have to entertain anyone. I didn't want the responsibility of being around someone or having to strike up conversations. I was not about to bring somebody into that, make them think something was wrong with them. I had to heal. So you have to step cautiously into that. Not only that, after that time, we tend to be a little bit more vulnerable. We tend to give more of ourselves than we would. We also find ourselves in something that we didn't necessarily want to be in. And I'll share this too. I ruined a relationship, a friendship that way. You know, went into something that was super too soon after I was still going through the hurt and pain of my own breakup. And this person was great. They were a great person, but because I was not ready, I was doing some pretty crappy things at the time. And that's something I had to deal with. So you don't want to put that stuff off on you. You can avoid that. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself first before you start trying to give yourself to other people. You'll find too much of the remnants of what has happened to you hasn't been dealt with yet. And it's not the proper time to move forward in a relationship. Y'all, hopefully this video has been beneficial to you guys and you've learned a bit. And if you're going through a breakup, just know that you're on your way to your breakthrough. Okay, I'm not trying to be a pastor or preacher or nothing, but I'm being serious. If you take this situation really to heart and do the work, you can get through this. And if you don't, there's some professional help available for you. Make sure that you comment, share this video with someone who can use it, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Beautiful Brown Baby Doll. Peace.
Check the links in the description for my free new Dr. Nina's Mentorship Facebook group, which is a group of like-minded individuals looking to progress, grow, and support one another along the way. The Now That's Life podcast is about to go into season 2, so I suggest you go ahead and subscribe to the podcast on all your major podcasting platforms. All descriptions and links for that and my free supernatural video course are found below. Special thanks to Jason Bowie of Trinity Media Solutions for co-producing and filming today's video. His information can be found down below in the information section. Thanks so much for all the love and support over on my new website. If you haven't already, go ahead and check it out and join me for new ways to interact with me, giveaways and prizes, weekly emails, as well as my free 8-day supernatural video course, which is free when you sign up.